Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. We step into the fascinating world of British numismatic history to uncover the hidden story behind a seemingly simple coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence 2008. At first glance, it looks ordinary, familiar, and modest. But beneath its copper-plated surface lies a story of history, precision, royal legacy, rarity, and astonishing value that has captured the attention of collectors around the world. The year 2008 was a defining moment in global history. The world stood at the edge of economic uncertainty, financial markets trembled, and nations reflected deeply on stability and tradition. In the United Kingdom, while headlines focused on global change, the Royal Mint quietly continued one of its oldest traditions, striking coins that carried centuries of royal symbolism into modern times. Among them was the 2-pence coin bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign became the longest in British history. This coin was not just currency, it was a snapshot of a nation navigating modern challenges while honoring ancient traditions. The 2-pence denomination itself holds a special place in British coinage. Introduced in 1971 during the decimalisation of the UK currency system, it symbolised modernization and progress. By 2008, the 2-pence coin had already travelled through decades of British life, from bustling markets to quiet countryside shops. Yet, the 2008 issue would become something far more than everyday money. It would become a silent witness to history, and in certain rare forms, a treasure beyond imagination. As you hold the Elizabeth II 2-pence 2008 coin in your hand, the first thing that captures your attention is its rich copper tone. The coin measures precisely 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighs 7.12 grams, specifications that reflect the Royal Mint's commitment to perfection. The metal composition, copper-plated steel, was chosen not only for durability but also for its distinctive warm appearance. This choice marked an era when the Royal Mint balanced tradition with cost-effective innovation, a reflection of the economic realities of the time. On one side of the coin appears the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait is widely admired among collectors for its realism and dignity. Unlike earlier, more idealized images, this effigy portrays the Queen with maturity, wisdom, and quiet authority. Every detail, from the gentle lines of her face to the regal presence of the crown, tells the story of a monarch who had guided the nation through wars, celebrations, crises, and transformations. Around the portrait, the inscription proudly reads, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina, affirming the Queen's role as sovereign by the grace of God. Turn the coin over, and you encounter one of the most recognizable designs in British coinage, the Prince of Wales feathers. This elegant emblem, crowned and accompanied by the words 2-pence, symbolizes heritage, continuity, and national identity. The feathers are rendered with remarkable precision, each line crisp, balanced, and intentional. It is a design that connects modern Britain to medieval symbolism, reminding us that even the smallest coin carries centuries of meaning. What makes the 2008 2-pence coin especially fascinating is the context in which it was produced. During this period, the Royal Mint was refining its minting techniques, experimenting with materials, and implementing stricter quality controls. Millions of 2-pence coins were struck that year, but within that massive production emerged subtle variations, errors, and limited batches that would later ignite the passion of collectors. These variations are invisible to the untrained eye, yet they are the very features that transform a simple coin into a numismatic masterpiece. Collectors soon began noticing anomalies in some 2008 2-pence coins. Slight differences in alignment, unexpected spacing in inscriptions, rare minting errors, and unusual surface finishes sparked curiosity. Some coins displayed die rotation errors, while others showed off-center strikes or missing details that defied standard production norms. In the world of rare coins, such imperfections are not flaws, they are signatures of rarity. Each error tells a story of a brief moment when machinery, metal, and human oversight intersected in an unexpected way. As word spread through collector communities, forums, and auctions, the Elizabeth II two-pence 2008 began to attract attention. What was once overlooked became sought after. Collectors realized that finding one of these rare variants was like discovering a needle in a haystack. Many were lost to circulation, damaged through use, or melted down. The surviving examples, especially those in exceptional condition, became increasingly valuable. Condition plays a critical role in the value of this coin. A two-pence 2008 coin preserved in mint or near-mint condition, with sharp details, original luster, and minimal wear, stands worlds apart from one that has circulated for years. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC carry even greater prestige, as their authenticity and condition are verified by experts. For collectors, owning a graded example is not just about value, it is about trust, legacy, and pride. The collector appeal of the Elizabeth II two-pence 2008 is deeply emotional. It represents the final decades of a historic reign, a time when Queen Elizabeth II became a global symbol of stability and continuity. For many, this coin is a tangible connection to a monarch who shaped modern Britain. For others, it is a reminder of personal memories, childhood allowances, first purchases, or family collections passed down through generations. International collectors also play a significant role in driving demand. British coins have long been admired around the world for their craftsmanship and history. The two-pence 2008, with its royal imagery and rare variants, appeals to collectors in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and the Americas. As global interest grows, competition intensifies, and prices rise accordingly. Auctions have become the stage where the true drama of this coin unfolds. When a rare Elizabeth II two-pence 2008 appears in a high-profile auction, anticipation builds. Bidders study every detail, analyze provenance, and prepare to compete. The atmosphere is electric, driven by the knowledge that opportunities like this are fleeting. Each successful bid is not just a purchase, it is a victory, a statement, and an investment in history. Top 2. We step back into the final moments of the 20th century to uncover the hidden story of one such coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II two-pence 1999. The year 1999 was filled with anticipation and emotion across Britain. It was the last full year before the world crossed into a new millennium. Streets buzzed with excitement, calendars filled with celebrations, and a sense of historic transition lingered in the air. The United Kingdom stood proud of its traditions while preparing to enter a future shaped by technology and global change. Amid this atmosphere, the Royal Mint continued its centuries-old duty, quietly striking coins that would carry the nation's identity forward into the next era. Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for nearly half a century by 1999. Her portrait was not just a symbol of monarchy but a reassuring constant in a rapidly changing world. To many, her image on British coins represented stability, continuity, and national pride. The two-pence coin of 1999 may have appeared ordinary at first glance, but it was born during a moment when history itself seemed to pause and look both backward and forward at once. The two-pence denomination has always played a unique role in British currency. Introduced in decimal form in 1971, it symbolized modernization while remaining rooted in tradition. By 1999, it had become a familiar companion in daily transactions, yet it was also quietly evolving. Changes in materials, minting techniques, and subtle design refinements reflected broader shifts in the economy and manufacturing technology. Pick up a 1999 two-pence coin, and the first thing you notice is its warm copper tone. Unlike earlier bronze issues, coins from this period were produced using copper-plated steel, giving them a distinctive appearance and magnetic properties that many people never realized. This change was driven by economic considerations, but it also unintentionally created a new layer of intrigue for future collectors. What once seemed like a simple cost-saving measure would later help identify rare variations and mint anomalies. On the obverse side, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II stands quietly powerful. Created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley, this effigy marked a departure from earlier designs. It portrayed the Queen with a sense of realism and dignity, capturing her maturity and experience rather than idealized youth. The fine details of her hair, the subtle expression, and the regal presence all contribute to a portrait that feels timeless. Surrounding her image, the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD reinforces her role as both monarch and symbol of national unity. Turning the coin over reveals the iconic Prince of Wales feathers, crowned and accompanied by the words 2-pence and the year 1999. This reverse design connects the coin to centuries of British heraldry. The feathers are more than decoration, they are a symbol deeply embedded in royal tradition, representing authority, legacy, and continuity. In 1999, as Britain stood on the edge of a new millennium, this design served as a reminder that even as the future approached, the past remained firmly honored. At the Royal Mint, millions of 2-pence coins were struck that year. Advanced machinery ensured speed and consistency, but perfection is never absolute. Within vast production runs, tiny differences emerge, variations in alignment, thickness, strike pressure, and plating quality. To the untrained eye, these details are invisible. To a seasoned collector, they are everything. Some 1999 2-pence coins exhibit unusually sharp strikes, where every line of the Queen's portrait and every feather detail stands out with exceptional clarity. Others show subtle errors, off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or plating anomalies that reveal the steel core beneath. These mint errors are not flaws in the eyes of collectors. They are signatures of rarity, evidence that this particular coin followed a slightly different path through history. As the years passed, most 1999 2-pence coins continued their quiet existence in circulation. They were spent, saved, forgotten, and sometimes discarded. But a small number were preserved, kept in drawers, collections, or sealed mint sets. Time, wear, and human neglect gradually reduced their numbers, especially those in near-perfect condition. Collectors began to look back at the late 1990s with fresh eyes. Coins from this era represented the closing chapter of the 20th century, a period charged with emotional and historical significance. The 1999 2-pence, in particular, stood out as a symbol of transition, a coin minted in the final moments before the world changed forever. Interest grew slowly at first. Dedicated numismatists noticed certain variants appearing less frequently at auctions and in private collections. Discussions emerged in collector circles about unusual 1999 2-pence coins with exceptional finishes or rare minting characteristics. Each discovery added another layer to the coin's mystique. Condition became a critical factor. A heavily circulated example might hold sentimental value, but pristine, uncirculated coins told a different story. When a 1999 2-pence survives with its original luster intact, sharp edges untouched by years of use, it becomes a time capsule, a direct connection to the Royal Mint floor in 1999. Then there are the truly extraordinary pieces. Coins struck on slightly misprepared blanks, coins with dramatic alignment errors, or coins preserved in flawless condition from limited presentation sets. These examples are exceedingly rare, and when they surface, they command attention from collectors around the world. Auction houses began recording surprising results. What once sold for pennies now attracted serious bids. As awareness spread, the value of exceptional 1999 2-pence coins climbed steadily. Stories emerged of collectors discovering rare examples in inherited collections or long-forgotten coin boxes, turning ordinary moments into life-changing discoveries. Top 3. Where everyday coins reveal extraordinary secrets. And tonight's story begins at a turning point in British history. The year 1971 was not just another calendar page for the United Kingdom. It was a year of transformation, a moment when centuries of tradition gave way to modern simplicity. Britain was preparing for decimalization, a revolutionary change that would redefine how money was counted, spent, and understood. For generations, the British public had used pounds, shillings, and pence in a complex system that felt almost poetic in its old-world charm. But progress demanded change, and the nation stood on the brink of a new monetary era. In the midst of this historic transition, the Royal Mint introduced a new generation of coins, designed not only to function in a modern decimal system but also to symbolize continuity, strength, and national pride. Among them was the 2-pence coin of 1971, a piece that would quietly enter circulation while unknowingly carrying the weight of history on its copper surface. When this coin was first released, few people stopped to admire it. It was practical, sturdy, and familiar in the hand, yet something about it felt different. Slightly larger than many coins people were used to, it had a presence, a solid feel that reflected the seriousness of the moment it represented. This was not just money. It was a statement that Britain was stepping confidently into the future while honoring its past. At the heart of the coin stood the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a young yet resolute monarch whose reign had already witnessed remarkable change. Her image on the 1971 two-pence was created by Arnold Machin, one of the most celebrated sculptors of his time. The Queen's profile was calm, dignified, and timeless, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a symbol of continuity and royal elegance. This portrait would become one of the most recognized depictions of the Queen across the world, appearing on coins for decades. Every line in that portrait told a story. The gentle curve of the Queen's profile spoke of stability. The fine detailing reflected the royal mint's commitment to excellence even during times of transition. Around the portrait, the Latin inscription reinforced the monarchy's enduring presence, linking modern Britain to centuries of royal tradition. Turning the coin over, the reverse design revealed something equally powerful in its symbolism. The famous Prince of Wales' feathers, crowned and accompanied by a small coronet, represented not just royalty, but heritage, authority, and national identity. This design had deep historical roots, reminding the public that while systems may change, the core of the nation remains strong. The simplicity of the design was intentional. In an age of confusion surrounding new decimal values, clarity was essential. The bold two-pence inscription left no room for doubt, ensuring that anyone, from schoolchildren to shopkeepers, could instantly recognize its value. The clean, confident layout reflected a country embracing change with determination. The metal composition of the 1971 two-pence coin also played a role in its lasting appeal. Struck in bronze, a mixture of copper, tin, and zinc, the coin had a rich reddish-brown tone when freshly minted. Over time, many coins darkened, picked up marks, scratches, and the wear of everyday life. Yet a select few survived in remarkable condition, preserved by chance or careful hands, becoming silent witnesses to history. Millions of these coins were produced, and for years they passed unnoticed through countless transactions. They jingled in pockets, rested in cash drawers, and slipped between generations without ceremony. But in the world of coin collecting, rarity is not always about low mintage. Sometimes, it's about survival, condition, and the subtle variations that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Collectors began to notice something special about certain 1971 two-pence coins. Differences in strike quality, alignment, and even tiny minting anomalies caught the attention of sharp eyes. Some coins displayed sharper details, deeper strikes, and exceptional surface quality, suggesting they were among the earliest or most carefully produced examples. As time passed, the earliest decimal coins gained a special status. They represented a once-in-a-lifetime shift in British monetary history. Owning a 1971 two-pence coin was like holding the exact moment Britain reinvented its currency system. For collectors, that emotional connection mattered just as much as rarity. Then came the stories. Stories of coins tucked away in drawers, inherited from grandparents who remembered decimal day. Stories of collectors discovering pristine examples in old mint sets, untouched by circulation. Stories of international buyers realizing that British decimal coins were gaining attention far beyond the UK. Auction houses began to take notice. High-grade examples of early decimal coins started appearing in prestigious sales, accompanied by detailed descriptions emphasizing their historical significance. When certified and graded at the highest levels, the 1971 two-pence coin began to command prices that surprised even seasoned collectors. What truly elevated this coin into legend, however, was the discovery of exceptionally rare variants and flawless specimens. Coins struck with near-perfect surfaces, razor-sharp details, and deep original luster became the holy grail for collectors. These were not the coins people once spent on sweets or bus fares. These were museum-quality pieces, Preserved against all odds. As demand grew, so did competition. Wealthy collectors, investment funds, and numismatic institutions recognized the long-term value of owning a key piece from the birth of Britain's decimal era. The 1971 two-pence was no longer just a coin. It was a symbol of transformation, resilience, and national identity. Social media and online platforms fueled the excitement. Searches for Elizabeth II two-pence 1971 value surged as people wondered if the coin sitting forgotten in a jar could be worth something extraordinary. Videos, articles, and collector forums buzzed with speculation, analysis, and jaw-dropping auction results. Experts emphasized that not every 1971 two-pence coin held extreme value. Condition was everything. A heavily worn coin might carry sentimental worth, but the true treasures were those in exceptional, almost untouched condition. Coins graded at the very top of the scale, especially with unique minting characteristics, became the stars of the numismatic world. ATHD ultra-rare coins. We know that these stories are what make coin collecting magical. It's the idea that history can hide in plain sight, that something once considered ordinary can, over time, become priceless. If you enjoyed uncovering this hidden treasure, stay connected with HD ultra-rare coins, where every coin has a story, and every story could be worth millions.